I even stumped a patio line once just to hear Ted yelp with laughter.
Hello?
Welcome to the Film and Coffee podcast. My name is Brendan, co-founder and co-owner of Film and Coffee here in Perth. To my right is my business partner, the other half of Film and Coffee, Aaron. How are you?
It's good to be back on the pod. Hopefully, neither of you will be a sod. It's a cold day, so you got no reason to commit an act of treason. Good to be here, guys.
And across from me,
Very nice to be back.
long jump extraordinaire, turned star of the Bowling Green, the unofficial mayor of Victoria Park, Mr. Chris Topher. Welcome.
Hello.
Hey, that was nice. Little song at the
Yeah, I
start.
just came up with it. I've been thinking about jingles a lot lately due to the brilliance of the Cotty song.
You know,
Which song are you talking about there, mate?
You want me to sing it?
Sing what?
The Cotty song.
Give it a go.
what Chris is doing is trying to derail the introduction of the show. And he does this.
Can we start with obituaries?
Yeah, if you need to.
Two great friends, since last time we met up, two great friends of the podcast, statesmen of the world, have passed from the mortal plane, and I think we should thank them for their contributions. So there might be more, but the two I have are American mathematician and author Theodore John Kaczynski, and massive friend of the pod, and Italian statesman Silvio Berlusconi. So I know I've heard that we're big listeners.
Really?
Yeah, massive fans of the segments,
It's not good for the numbers.
especially the rope.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of segments,
Yeah.
boys, we're here to discuss all that is new and noteworthy in the world of coffee.
Stop trying to re-rail the conversation.
We've got Aaron. What are you talking about today? You've got you've got a manifesto.
I've got a manifesto.
Oh, manifesto.
You've got a coffee manifesto,
Magnificent manifesto.
and we spoke a little bit about a children's book the other week when you brought in a book with a badger or a mole that had been defecated on. And we thought we could write a book.
Yeah.
We could write a kids' book. So we're going to workshop what that book might look like today as well.
wow. Okay.
We're going to do a little bit of that. We've got our listener favourites, the ad read, and the listener question, smash hit staples, health advice.
I'll be doing a reading from Industrial Society and its future.
Health advice with Chris and Coffeenomics. Rate and review, Spotify, Apple Pod, wherever you listen. Subscribe and share. Thank you to those who have been. Chris, we haven't been able to sit down and record for a little while. Surely you've been sharing the show.
I have.
He's been sharing it with Theodore.
I shared it with Theodore John Kaczynski and Silvio Berlusconi.
Posthumously. Is that a word?
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll go with that.
posthumously.
Don't forget, Tofu 15% off delicious black coffee delivered to your door. And a brand new coffee
Comes
bag
the great
bundles.
bunga party in the sky.
All right. Start us off, Aaron.
Am I starting again?
You always start. Your name starts with A. You get the A block.
We get you out of the way and then
Hey,
come
hey.
in with the heavy
And then we
hitters.
get into
You guys
it.
really enjoyed my article last week from last ep from
Made a Pineda.
Maida Pineda.
We did not enjoy that. It's been received as the worst single article that's ever been raised on the show. And
This is
Chris
stiff competition.
has had some shockers.
He has had some shockers. I didn't realise it was that bad until you guys have just informed me now.
It was poor.
That's okay. I've got a great one today. We're so busy and stressed, Brendan. Can a cup of coffee save us all?
No.
Now this is not an article. This is
That's
something.
good. That's not your strong.
It's a good start.
This is something that I've come up
Steered
with.
clear.
So I've realised my faults. Reading other people's articles, perhaps not my best method. So, yeah, a couple of Saturdays ago, I was sitting at the market doing my thing as usual, having a croissant and a coffee and thinking about the world.
Yep.
Looking up at a beautiful, gorgeous old tree that was dropping gum nuts.
Donkey nuts.
And Yeah, normally I'm not thinking about it a lot, but this time I was recalling a friend's ritual. So I got a dear friend who likes to drink coffee. I won't mention what he drinks because it's not the right coffee.
Mention it.
Bury him.
It's not one of those long mat topped up.
Who are you, my dad? My dad. He has a coffee. I won't mention it.
Mention it.
But when he sits down, Chris, with this coffee that he has, which I'm not mentioning, he takes a moment for gratitude, empathy, and mindfulness.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
a freak.
he's an extremely woke individual.
Yep.
And he's quite deliberate about this ritual.
He sounds obnoxious.
He's done some stuff. Has he done some stuff in his past?
We've all done some stuff, I guess.
Is he the guy that you guys are friends with that sells the $45 burgers that was in Perth now?
Oh my God.
No.
That was your friend, right? That was the guy.
I went to high school with him.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Shout out to $45 burger guy.
Is this
Did you not see that article?
No, I didn't.
You didn't read, but the article was,
I'm off because
It's a hatchet
he doesn't
job.
do vegan burgers, so
No.
that's okay.
it's a chicken shop.
It's a chicken shop.
So
So
goes with his coffee.
Yeah.
my friend has a beautiful trigger for a healthy habit, and I, sitting there under the gum nuts, thought maybe I've missed a trick. What if I could use my coffee, which you guys all know I drink black coffee, as a trigger for a regular healthy habit too?
So this was because you were relaxed and taking your time.
That's right.
Instead of
I just had the
working.
thought. I thought, well, why couldn't we all use our coffee as a trigger for a healthy habit? It's something that is quite universal.
Like coffee or the act of coffee.
Isn't
the
coffee
act
the
of
healthy
coffee.
habit in itself? Isn't that the line that we're selling?
Yeah, but it's not enough, Chris.
Okay.
Surely you suffer from the same afflictions as the rest of
No.
modern society?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay.
I live in my little cabin in the woods.
Chris, I've seen you trying to comb your hair, look after the kids, do your work all at the same time. So, listeners and friends of the pod, if you're someone who drinks coffee to speed up, but you perhaps need to slow down, listen in. I'm going to present #Aaron's manifesto on using the power of coffee to save yourself and meanwhile save the world. One coffee at a time.
Meanwhile.
So I'll get your guys' thoughts on each point. I've got six points here.
Mm-hmm.
Six principles.
They're never like 2 or 3 things. Are
No,
they?
no,
They're like 10 dot points.
It's always obnoxiously long.
6. Let's do it. Now,
I'll make them quick. I'll
Well,
say
Are they from least relevant to most relevant? Or
no, he always goes most relevant first.
yeah, it just gets
And then
progressively
I
worse.
run out of ideas. But I figure my segment needs to be the longest because it's the most important.
It's the A block. Yeah. So start with the best.
So just think about this in the context of if you guys were going to use a cup of coffee to help you slow down, what would you do? So manifesto principle number 1, Chris. Choose a location where you feel relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
This could be your favourite cafe, your office desk,
My favourite Mook Cafe.
the back of your ute, or at home. You guys accept that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fine. So you're not allowed it on a bus or
Doesn't
while
matter.
traveling.
It doesn't matter. Just choose a location where you feel relaxed. Manifesto principle 2. Make sure you aren't going to be interrupted. So put your phone on silent and choose a location and time where you can be alone
Leave your child in the car.
or invisible.
Winter.
So don't go to the cafe where everyone knows you and you know people are saying g'day and
It's easy for you because you famously shy away from talking to people anyway.
Headphones on.
Yeah.
Slamming away at the laptop.
Yeah, it's not always the case, but manifesto principle number 3. Make sure you are accompanied by a delicious coffee. Now, do not leave this to chance, Chris. So don't try this at a new cafe where you're going to be invisible, but you can't rely on the quality of the coffee. Because, Chris, you don't want to
But you also know
Sorry,
that-
you've got to go
want
to a
this
cafe where you don't know anyone.
But
where
it's not
no
you.
one knows you, and the coffee's great.
Just look at some
But-
Google reviews.
Principle number one,
Find a good
a
spot.
relaxing cafe is fine.
Yeah, okay.
But you don't have to go to a cafe.
Back in
Like
the
I
youth,
said.
he said. Back in
Nothing
the
more relaxing than sitting in a cafe while the person behind the
Filament.
counter glares at you for taking up a seat.
Filament brew bag at home is also acceptable. Now, number 4.
You don't need to put your hands up.
Now,
because
this is the
camera's
best
on.
point. Yeah.
You look like you're doing one of those ISIS videos. This is my 4th demand.
Have a plan for what you want to achieve with your time, Chris. It might be studying a gum tree like I was, writing a to-do list, listening to an episode of the Filament Coffee Pod, or anything that helps you slow down. And try and do the
Sending
same.
mail bombs to universities.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it takes. Try and do the same or a similar thing each time. Manifesto principle number 5. I thought I needed 2 hands there.
You think you needed 2 hands?
It's not about how long. It could be 10 minutes. It could be 2 minutes. It's about how you use the time. Number 6. I want you to both harness this energy. So I don't want you to just be relaxed when you're doing this ritual that you've chosen for yourself. I want you to transition in this relaxed state to your day or your next thing. So use the power of coffee as your third space.
Third space.
I thought that might pique your interest.
What's the first and second space?
I'm not sure.
Did you get this off an
No,
article?
okay. So first space is what you're doing. Second space is where you're going. Third space is just that little transition in between.
Okay.
So in that third space, as you transition, just try and capture that relaxed energy as you move into the second space.
Visualize how taking a bite of that $45 chicken burger.
So what do you guys think?
I think, yeah.
So this is about using your coffee in such a way to just lower the nervous system, just getting yourself into a good headspace so you can be a better version of yourself. Because often we rush around doing this and that, and we just don't take a moment to think, to chill out.
This is for people who aren't practicing something like this already. Because generally people, like I would sometimes have a coffee on a walk in the morning, but usually it's at my desk when I'm working.
Yep.
Like it's part of my work
Yep.
morning. So I wouldn't do this.
So you
But
you wouldn't be open to spending. You got your laptop up, you got your coffee. Just spend 30 seconds and just sort of think about, okay, what task am I moving into now? Just giving yourself like a little micro pep talk on just being the best version of yourself. So doing what you're there to do.
Maybe I guess. I mean, and that's what you're saying is using it as a trigger to do that.
Yeah.
Any second of self-reflection or introversion I take brings me dangerously close to the void. So can I do it while rocking out to my favourite album, Third Eye Blind's debut record, Third Eye Blind?
If that's what you need, Chris, to be the best version of yourself, then absolutely. Semi-charm kind of life.
Have you been doing this?
Yeah, I have.
Did I catch you in a lie just then?
You haven't done this once. And neither's the guy that told you about it, by the way.
Look,
He was just
my problems with coffee are they're well out in the open. We've discussed this on the pod many times. I take a sip of coffee and I want to go clamber up trees.
Yeah.
But that's what coffee's an accelerant, isn't it? That's what it does.
It is. So order a decaf if you're...
But I guess you're saying again though, people that have coffee to get going and are also taking some time for themselves don't need the trigger of a coffee. And you're saying the trigger of having a cup of coffee is something most people do each day. So it's point in your day that you could stop.
Yep.
And some
Yep.
people will be doing it already.
It's a moment. It's just a moment for yourself. Even if it's you're at home preparing it and the kids and family are, you're making a coffee, you're doing an action. So just use that time, even if it's 10 seconds. Just
It's getting shorter.
it's not about
6
it's not
minutes or 2
about-
minutes. And
It's
then
not
I think I
about
could do
how
10
long.
seconds.
So my dear friend,
Don't know
who
me, don't know
coffee's
Just tell me the
coffee will
tell
go
me what coffee he
unnamed.
gets.
He might do it for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So he'll go to a cafe and sit in a spot on his way to work and chill out and do his ritual.
What does he do? What does he do for a cross?
He's looking for work. Can you
He's unemployed.
Can you imagine the burden on the economy if everyone was doing this? Every time they had a coffee, they had to go fuck off.
Hey, people
silently in cafes.
on New Start can still go to fancy cafes
Yes.
and spend $5 on a coffee. So, I mean, do you guys think that as a general concept, do you think we're all a bit too... Everyone I see is always saying, oh, how are you? Are you busy? I'm busy.
Yeah,
I think
mean,
Yeah, of course. I've
always said that.
societally, we are we're in a bit of a rat race phase.
Yeah, and we take far too much pleasure in being busy.
We
It's
do.
a badge of pride.
We do.
yeah.
We do. How do you guys respond when someone asks you if you're busy? What do you say?
No one really asks if you. I've not had anyone say, "Are you
no,
busy?"
people ask how you're going, and
say,
you
"How are you
reply
doing?"
with, "Oh,
No,
been
people
busy."
People ask me. It's like it's almost progressed to the next thing. It's like, oh yeah, you must be busy. Like, how are you? You busy?
Are you busy?
Because they are.
Bailing you up in an alleyway. Hey man, you busy?
But it's
Is it a
made,
euphemism for something?
it's made me stop and think.
You
'Cause I
busy,
don't-
bro?
Number one, I don't just want to say yeah if I'm not.
What do you say? So someone says, "Hey Aaron, how you going? You busy?" You go, "No."
I give them the
I say that.
give them the most righteous answer ever. Shocking.
You go. You give them the manifesto.
I give them the manifesto. I say, slow down.
Send it straight
No, I
back.
do say, look, I'm not really.
I'm not. I should be.
Provided I've planned my days and I've taken my mindful moment when I'm drinking my coffee, I'm good. I'm just doing my thing. Like,
But
I'm not.
we should take pleasure in and pride in not being busy, being able to sort of look after yourself and not having.
100%. Yep. And and looking after your pals and your fam and everyone,
Yeah.
but not feeling like you have to do everything and be everything to everyone. Because I think a lot of us do. And you think you're doing a good thing, perhaps, but you'd be far better off
Yeah.
just taking the foot off the pedal and doing perhaps a few less things a bit better.
Just hanging out in the cafe.
Yeah, go hang out in
morning.
the cafe. Hey, make this ritual. Don't make it 10 seconds. Make it half an hour. An hour.
Some
If it's just
of us
one
are
a
busy,
day,
Aaron.
No,
Yeah,
it's
some of us
every.
are
It's
pretty
every.
busy.
Every time you have a
That's
coffee.
so busy.
We're busy, mate. We're too busy for that.
So that's the reflex I was expecting from you two. There you have it. So
Just attacking the economy now.
I have a question for you, Chris. Is
Yeah.
there anything better than a cup of coffee for a timeout? And please don't say Kit Kat.
That would be taking a break, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You stepped on the.
Isn't there a chocolate bar called a timeout separately?
Is there anything better than a coffee or a chocolate bar
Yeah.
to act as a trigger for a timeout?
Nice glass of whiskey.
Glass of whiskey.
Just on the way to work, same as Aaron's, mate.
No, it's a flask on the way to work.
Oh.
It's a glass.
Pull
It's a
over in
glass
a bus
after work.
lane.
No, Chris has his filament coffee cocktail on the way to.
That's
On the way
right.
to dropping the kids off.
Check out the New Year's Eve episodes.
Just going for a walk
Yeah, that's a good one.
somewhere natural.
He's trying to make you say cigarette. That's what he's trying to make you say.
I do not smoke nor ever.
Look down the barrel of the cannon. Yeah, anything would be great. I just think a coffee is something that most people do, and it's already a little time out in their day. Like if you work in an office, people generally go out of the office and have a little break, or but you're actively stopping what you're doing. And you said that coffee's kind of there with you when you're about to start work, but it doesn't mean that you can't, while you're making that coffee, spend half an hour.
Spend half an hour.
Spend 2 minutes just moving, just practicing some mindfulness and,
I'll give it a shot.
actively slowing down.
Give it a shot.
Yeah. I think it's
Busy this week, but
I think it'll help us all.
What is the coffee order of this guy?
I've
We've talked a
said
lot about how we can judge people by their.
the coffee order will remain anonymous.
It's going to be something like a soy latte or something horrible.
No.
What do you reckon? You know it, don't you?
No, I don't.
Strong flat white.
It's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's fine.
The cat's out of the bag. The Kit Kat's out of the bag. Oh, did you know, on the Kit Kat note,
Yep. You've been trying to shoehorn Kit Kat into the conversation.
stress spelt backwards is dessert.
Say again?
Stressed, the word stress spelt
stressed.
backwards.
Oh.
So
I
that's
was like, it's not.
that's why Kit Kat came out with that slogan, have a Kit Kat break.
It's not even their slogan. Have a Kit Kat break.
What is it? Take a break, take a Kit Kat break. Not sure why that's so funny.
There's just no risk of copyright infringement.
I'm going to have to Google what the Kit Kat slogan is.
Isn't that have a break? Have a.
The only ones I know are Nike is go on and do something.
Yeah.
McDonald's is I really like it.
Yeah.
What's the Coddy's one?
Cotty's is my deadbeat dad fixes the fridge.
Fixes the fridge.
Was it? I don't remember how. My dad
Calls the
fixes the fridge to kicks the cordial.
That I like
yeah.
best. My dad picks the fruit.
Picks the fruit,
That goes to
yeah.
Coddy's.
Yeah. And the good news is, with the updated legislation this year, Dad's being paid a piece rate for picking the fruit.
Okay. That's excellent.
So yeah, things have progressed a long way since the commercial first came out, and Dad was probably struggling. Especially if he was a backpacker or an undocumented worker of any kind. Perhaps a 457 visa.
Imagine if that song is about a 457 visa worker.
My dad picks the fruit and goes to Western Union and transfers the money back to us in our country so we can survive.
There you have it, guys.
Speaking of kids,
Using the power of coffee to save yourself
You need a Kit Kat break, mate.
and the world, one cup at a time. Hashtag Aaron's manifesto.
do you put the apostrophe in a hashtag?
You guys are in a very jovial mood today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on. Is it because this is the third time I've presented this segment to you both? And it just gets better and better?
He has to run drafts by us now after the Mater Pinata debacle.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of my transition from coffee articles to
That's good.
creating my
It's
own?
good. Yeah. Good
segments.
discussion. I like it. Speaking of making your own segments, Chris and I told Chris that we're going to workshop the idea for the kids' book.
Uh-huh.
Chris told me he didn't have anything planned to speak about. He does have a health advice snippet. So I think the three of us put our heads together and we could come up with this kids' book idea.
Right now.
Well, just like the bones of it, the
And
skeleton.
is it a branded tie-in?
Doesn't have to be.
But probably better if it is, right?
We could have branded ties. That's a good idea.
Filament branded
Filament's
ties.
range of ties.
That'd be quite cool.
We discussed this a few episodes ago, episode 50, I think.
Yep.
You were talking about Alan Alda from
Alda.
MASH
Yep.
came up with the AeroPress. Crazy invention. Another crazy thing he couldn't believe existed was this book, kids' book about a mole that had been defecated on. The story was he's just trying to find out who did it. And we said, that's rubbish. We could come up with something. surely we could come up with a book. And we thought about
And then we decided it was too derivative of that Black Books episode and closed the book on it.
no, but
Oh.
that was a good episode. They were trying to come up with a kid's book. I think we should do it. The idea generally, something in the coffee world.
Okay.
Had the idea broadly. This is my idea so far. I want to know what you think of it.
Yep.
It's a story about mum or dad
Mm-hmm.
going to the coffee shop with their son or daughter, and it's all the rubbish things about going to a cafe to get a coffee, things we've joked about on the pod that gets encountered, page by page,
Yeah.
things for the kids to look at while they're reading, dogs, laptops,
Yeah.
whatever it
Some
is.
fuckwig meditating for 20 minutes, taking up the table while you're trying to find somewhere to sit with your screaming kid.
Just inverted on the table.
Exactly, but just the dad character, the mum. I keep saying, I think thinking of it as a dad character is not fussed, right?
Some families aren't mums and dads, Brendan. There's families of all different shapes and sizes.
But it could be a dad from a two dads family.
Some
or a
families are in
mum.
poly relationships.
We
I don't know what that
Brendan
is.
and I always get confused for being two dads at the Oxford.
Yeah, well, they're most nights.
weeks.
Yep.
Well, a parent going to the coffee shop and encountering all these things that would ordinarily be really frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of the kid being 7 or 8, old enough to know that things should be annoying,
Yeah.
but mum or dad are not getting frustrated. I'm going to say dad because it is in my head. It's dad.
Yeah.
Dad's not getting frustrated by this. He's just kind of oblivious. And the book is about
Dad walks in, sees the barista's got a nose ring, turns around and walks straight back out.
no, but it's that sort of stuff, right? Like it's that. And then his name gets written wrong on the cup. Then the order's wrong.
Just really quickly, I'm feeling a little bit anxious. I like to have numbers of things to work to. So how many pages are we talking?
We'll get there. We'll just go
Okay.
like the story. If you like that idea,
Like all good books, you come up with the numbers of pages first,
But
then you fill them up.
I can't move on. I can't partake in this unless I know how many pages we're doing.
well, what was that book? Well, like 20 pages, 15 pages? I don't know.
12. Oh, 12 times 2.
So yeah,
We'll
like
call
so
we'll
each
call it 20.
2 pages is a theme.
Yeah.
Is a
We'll call that one page. So a double page
One
is a
page,
page.
yeah.
So we'll have 12 doubles.
12 of those.
And what page size are we talking? Are they A4, A3 for the big
We'll do A4.
A4 landscape.
But the idea is
For American listeners, that's equivalent to roughly American letter standard.
American letter. They get all the way to the coffee shop, deal with all this stuff. The order's wrong. Dad tips the coffee. He's not frustrated. And then daughter, son makes him a coffee at home. And it's the best coffee he's had. Like that's kind of the story, right? But the fun part for the adults reading is all the rubbish
Yeah.
that goes on. There's stuff in there for kids to point at,
Right.
along the way.
So it's a book
Probably.
you can read to the kids, but also agree the fuck out of why the dad's
Exactly.
getting annoyed by things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although dad's not getting annoyed.
No.
He's it's like a lesson in patience, maybe tolerance of other people, and then just like, the coffee is just having a moment at home. That's the best coffee. Just coffee with dad. That was my idea.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that? We could come up with some stuff to fit in the 12
I
pages.
like that.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Zarina can illustrate for free, obviously.
Obviously.
50-50.
You've seen her incredible skills.
Well, I haven't seen her draw anything that's not my genitals.
Can we make it? Can everyone be not naked, but just?
Hold on. Hold on.
Can everyone just be in board shorts?
Including the
could
kids.
be-
That
could
would be
be-
quite cool. Yeah.
It could be at the beach. Could be summer and
Yeah.
near the beach, a coffee shop near the beach,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Like the kids
Right.
have got their floaties on and kind of like a beachy book.
Okay, so what stuff's he seeing that's annoying him at the cafe?
All right. Well, we got to come up with probably 8 things, 6, 7 things, if it's like a 12-pager.
When you open the door and there's a sound?
That's not.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How do you illustrate that? Like the dad could be hungover as well,
Yeah.
which is why he's going through his, he's not-
Hey,
if-
could it be a pop? I'm just thinking, could it be a pop-up one where the kids, where you open stuff in the book, or is that for like younger kids? perhaps.
No, it could be. It probably is for younger kids, but also how would we do that? Well, we also can't make it like an ebook if we do that.
Yeah, true.
We just need to
Yeah,
pump.
you
We just
can't
want to pump this out for
Because
dollars.
they're
boys.
very cool when you get to open
That would
stuff
be-
as you go.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
A little bit high rent for
I was
us.
just thinking if we're opening Chris's door and like there's actually a sound made by the book. It's
Oh,
like a
there's the
creak.
book makes sounds. That's
Yeah.
cool.
We're gonna do a pop-up book that makes sounds based on the worst idea of getting annoyed ever. Just get annoyed with the ring on the. No shop in Perth has a ring on the door when you go into it.
There is one. I went to the liquor shed in Jandakot.
A liquor shop. He's talking about a liquor shop.
Massive.
The liquor shed in Jandakot.
Massive ding dong as you go in.
Yeah, but that's they're worried about theft. They're worried about theft. The cafe at the beach is not ding donging people when they walk in.
No, well, that's because the thieves
That's
are behind the
terrible.
counter at the cafes.
Yeah. All right. So, what's the
Unnecessary.
what's the
How was
age
your
range?
Saturday? I was just down at the liquor shop, trying to steal some booze, and there was a silly doorbell, wasn't there? Couldn't do it. Now I'm here on my coffee shift.
Was Chris being more metaphorical about the thieves being behind the counter, and you went
just took it literally.
you went to the baristas have been out stealing all morning, and then come into the
You don't have an imagination. He doesn't understand metaphorical.
Look, I've got aphantasia. You guys know that.
It's actually very careless of me to bring this workshop to the table
Yeah.
today. All right, so age range like what, 0 to 3, or that like. Because for a few years, you want the book to be there for a few years, but you want them to also have to buy the next one.
Yeah,
little
like a
bit
cool
older.
book that the parent wants to read to the kid when the kid's not old enough to understand it, and just lets you read
Yeah.
to them while they're a blob.
And then can point to stuff
Yeah,
in
and
the
then
next
they
couple
become.
of years. Yeah.
That's right. They become a bit more interactive.
And then they'll start to see from that young age, right? This is what we could do. The next generation of coffee drinkers in Australia will know these things,
They will.
these issues.
I hate it when you get a menu and the only things on there is like a $40 Eggs Benedict, and then you've
Yep.
decided on that, and then you go up to the counter and there's like cheap, but
$40.
there's like a ham and cheese croissant. And you're like, oh, I could have had that, but then you have to go back and ask,
Yeah.
you guys sure don't want to ham and cheese
Yeah,
croissant
yeah.
because I don't want to be
Yeah.
spending $40 on an egg.
And then you're haggling over how many
Yeah.
ham and cheese croissants
is
you
like
get
6
for,
pages
you get
for
for your
one.
$40. You're like, do me a deal. Come on, like I know they're $7.99 each, but give me 6. I want 6 for the 40.
Yeah, the only thing I'm spending $40 plus on is a chicken burger.
What about this? Is one that always bugs me. Is you take the kids to the cafe, and quite often there'll be
That's
something.
one. That's one. Kids in the cafe.
Kids in the cafe, yeah.
Yeah, something on the menu that the kids really like. Because kids when they're 0 to 3, like the kids are 7 or 8 in the book, aren't they?
In the book. But
Anyway.
yeah.
There's often something on the menu that the kids like. And when they don't have that thing, they're like, oh, we just sold the last one. And they always just sold the last one. Like they say it like that makes you feel better when they should say, oh, we sold out 2 hours ago.
So it's baristas lying. You
Well,
prefer they
yes,
lied
they-
about the stock.
Well, yeah, that way I feel better.
All right, so just selling out. So dad orders whatever, and they said, "Sorry, we've just sold out." Like that's one.
Like you're there because the kid wants a Smartie cookie and they just sold out.
Yeah, just sold out. Kit
Oh,
Kat
I made my
cookie.
wife a dippy egg this morning with soldiers.
That's Chris. This
And
is a
she-
family show.
But she looked at me like I'm an alien. She'd never even heard of it.
Really?
Yeah, it was bizarre.
She
It
from
really
Belmont?
pissed me off. And I was trying to it's like a normal thing, isn't it? Little dippy egg. And
It's Aaron's favourite before
Is it?
he was
Do
vegan.
like a dippy egg.
it's everyone's favourite.
Did you do the?
But write that down. That really annoyed me.
Did you take the top off in front of it? Like
Dippy
a bit
egg.
of theatre? Did you? You know how you like?
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah, you should
didn't do that.
Should have showed her.
I also hard boiled the egg.
Dippy egg. That's
She's
just
trying to
like,
dip
all right.
into just a rock hard yolk. Yeah, this is
All
great,
right, I've
Chris.
got. So we've got some expensive menu item. We've got just selling out. I've written down dogs in a cafe. We've spoken about that before.
Yeah.
Laptops.
What about too many cyclists?
Cyclists is perfect.
Yeah.
Laptops,
Oh,
cyclists.
one guy on a table of 4. So you don't. This
Yeah.
is no table.
Yeah, we've spoken about that. So this is.
Yeah, it's like the
1,
only
2,
family-friendly
3,
table,
4,
and there's
5,
just a guy
6.
sitting there, and he keeps getting up
Yeah.
to like, I don't know, go and speak to the staff, and then he sits back down. So you think he's You think
Yeah.
he's leaving?
All right, and then order is wrong. Like at the end, you do all that. You line up, long line, order is wrong. On the way home, have a sit, realize the order's wrong, and then pops in the bin.
And then you go to pay, and they've got that machine where it's like, "Would you like to leave a tip?"
Yep.
Have you seen those?
For what?
Yeah.
I had that in Bondi, like, and obviously it's a touristy spot.
Every
'cause I was
single
like, what do you-
square, it has it every weekend.
Yeah.
Every single transaction on the Square reader
Yeah.
suggests a tip, unless you just skip through that screen.
Hey, by the way, I found on my phone. I was doing some Square transactions on the weekend. My phone doesn't need a Square reader. I can just put a card up to my phone.
Yeah. New tech,
Oh.
Chris.
Yeah, it's cool.
Woolworths brought
good.
that out like 2 years ago.
All right. So I think we got the age range, like 0 to 3, 20-ish pages, stories about dad going to the coffee shop, all the rubbish you run into.
Yep.
The theme of the book, like dad's being patient. He's okay because he's having coffee with his kid, and that's what it's
Yeah,
about for dad.
it's-
All the other stuff's irrelevant.
It's kind of along the lines of my manifesto, really.
We should call this Aaron's manifesto.
Yeah.
Aaron's manifesto
Dad
of coffee.
realises it.
Oh, when cafes have milk on the menu.
No, we can't do it. We can't. Come on, we've got to sell this.
Sorry, what are you saying? Dad realizes what?
Oh, just that he should have just stayed at home with the kids and taken it slow rather than rushing out for the Smartie cookie.
Or sent the kids out to the cafe for him.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that would have been even better.
All right, I think we're there.
Got a jumping off point?
What's that?
Well, you've got a jumping off point now, don't you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought that was like some section of a story. I was like, what? Yeah.
What else? What else is extremely frustrating at cafes?
Are you going to do the Joseph Campbell sort of hero's journey on the plot, or are you just
What
going to
about
keep it?
what about the person
Keep
in
it
front
kids.
is
Keep
just
it kids.
ordering like a stupid
Well, I've got long line,
thing.
and
yeah.
like,
Or people are at the counter and they haven't decided what they want,
yeah,
and they're going through.
Because the kids are tomorrow. They'll know that people order all sorts of silly drinks that make it hard for cafe owners to.
Will they?
to make ends meet.
I've seen your kid a lot of times, beautiful child, but I've never once seen it not on the iPad, and it doesn't really know what's going on in the world around it at any point.
Kai doesn't know this, Chris. We have to.
Oh, right.
I'll take that out.
He's always watching Coco Lemon.
Yeah, Blippy.
Baby Shark on repeat.
All right.
Does your child even know they're at a different location?
Good work.
She has become the iPad. Nice.
Good work. Okay. Time for an ad read. Very simple one this week. End of
ad
financial year sale.
What about Chris's segment?
Yeah, how come I don't get to do one?
You got health advice coming up.
Okay.
Yours is it? Your
Yeah, my
segment
article's
is.
sort of health
It's
advice.
one,
Yeah.
one
Health
and the
advice.
same. Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry, no, that's all right.
Don't ever do that again. Don't ever try to derail.
I just
Yeah.
remember. I
Process.
was
Just
remembering
remember
the
whose
time.
podcast is his buddy. It's
I know,
Brendan's.
but do you remember the time when he forgot Coffeenomics and he forgot health advice with Chris? Do you remember that time?
This is
I don't
50
remember a lot of.
52 episodes in, and I just did those two things.
Anyway,
That's fine. The ad read is end of financial year. Sale is on. Buy 3, get 1 free.
So,
Coffee bags.
end of financial year is
online.
different to end of Christian year.
Yes. In this country.
Yep.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay. So, what date's that?
30 June.
30 June.
30 June.
what's Christian year?
That
Ca-
would be
calendar year.
December
31
31st.
December.
That's it.
Why is it different?
I think the theory is that trying to wrap accounts and finish all that at Christmas time isn't fun.
Choosing between paying your taxes and buying your kids presents.
Yeah.
So
But
can
other
you,
countries, I think the US, it's the same calendar. And
Can you claim a tax deduction for buy 4 get 1 free? Buy 3 get 1 free.
buy
filling
3,
up
get
brew
1
bags?
free. If it's for work, you can. Yeah.
Okay. What if I work at home and sometimes I'm working, sometimes I'm taking long breaks?
If you have a business, yes, you can. You can. This is not tax advice. In the same way that Chris's segment is not health advice.
Sounds like a new segment.
Will you do like a invoice for me for $10,000
Yeah.
and I can deduct that?
You can deduct it.
Excellent.
You shouldn't.
There should be an accounting advice segment.
Hey, do you want here's one. Here's an actual one.
You've told us about that incredible stuff about the whole weird year being a different time.
Different year end. All right, here's one.
What does ATO mean, and why do they keep calling me?
Should we let him speak?
If you have a business, so this doesn't work. This doesn't work if you are just an individual. You can't deduct coffee, right? But in a business, you can, providing it's not entertainment. So there's a rule about.
So you better not be doing your fucking mindfulness during your coffee.
No, here's the deal, right?
Too entertaining.
Since when is that entertaining?
So where the
supposed to be
line is
relaxing.
drawn, if there's obvious ones like going to a restaurant, going to the football, it's kind of obvious it's entertainment. You can't deduct those expenses. Going to the pub,
The races.
the racetrack. If business
What if you're taking clients to the pub?
No, it's entertainment. It's entertainment. The reason you can't do it is because it's like you can't just funnel all your fun through the business and get deduction for it. But coffee is different because coffee you just have at your desk. It's not necessarily entertaining. If you dine in, that's where the line's drawn. Entertainment, non-deductible. If you take away,
Right.
deductible.
Right.
Not health advice, but I will just say if I do see a line item pop up in Xero where Aaron's had a coffee somewhere,
Assume
I'm
it's a-
narrating it,
you
take
assume
away
it's a
coffees.
takeaway.
I narrate it. I assume he's
It's
in there doing his
always-
manifesto, but I narrate
It's
it as
always
takeaway.
done in.
What if when you're having your coffee at work, you're watching a YouTube video of some funny cats? Is that entertaining?
Yeah. Well, if an HO officer was looking over his shoulder, it'd probably be non-deductible. I'll say that.
So we've learnt that the Australian government doesn't want you to funnel your fun.
Yeah. Well, they don't want you to get tax deductions for things that recreation.
That's
So they're
that's
literally the fun
fair.
police.
That's totally
Truly are.
fair.
So unfair.
Totally fair. Everyone else who doesn't own a business is not. They're not putting Saturday trip to the Oxford in their tax return as a line item.
No.
Nor are they even pondering that that's possible.
But you can in the same
People with
way.
business is like, oh yeah, come on.
You can
It's
deduct.
deductible.
You can deduct alcohol if it's a gift.
All right.
So it's not in the
so every
experience
time
of entertaining.
Alcohol pops up in our accounts that I've made
Customer
a purchase,
gift.
You assume it's a customer gift.
Yeah. Chris has received $10,000 worth of gifts from us this year. No, this is not.
But if I drink the alcohol and I'm subsequently sort of funnier and more entertaining, is that not a gift to the customer? Because they get to enjoy the show?
You get sad though, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
always deductible when Chris drinks. Yeah, so there you go. End
You know,
of
put
financial
away
year
the
sale.
Stanley Nights when I'm drinking.
There we go. Tax time at Filament.
Tax time. All right. Coffeenomics.
Well, today's been a bit silly, hasn't it?
Time to
You know
get
what?
serious.
Time to get serious, Chris.
Sometimes you get the bear, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes the bear gets you. Very interesting numbers today. Last
Stop
episode,
playing for the camera.
$1.85.
Yeah.
Today, $1.85.
Wow, you've never had that before.
No.
Same,
Same.
But-
No news is good news.
but different, you could say.
Anything happening
In other market headlines,
Yeah.
The Weekend has partnered with Blue Bottle Coffee to release a new coffee range called Samurai Origins.
Have you done this before? Have you done
No.
this before about his mum said it was like Ethiopian style coffee?
Yeah, I did it on the episode that was unreleased.
Okay, that's okay.
So The Weekend is the son of Ethiopian immigrants Makonnen and Samurai Tesfaye.
Mm-hmm.
So The Weekend and his mum are doing the coffee thing.
Nice. Sounds like a nice weekend, doesn't it?
Great weekend.
Great weekend.
Chris?
Good. Great weekend.
Great weekend. All right. Thanks, Aaron. for
People who don't
another-
know, The Weeknd is a singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
does those songs about doing lots of cocaine.
Yeah.
So it's nice that he's doing something a bit more wholesome
That's
with
right.
his mum.
With his mum.
Still stimulants.
He could be doing cocaine with his mum as well.
Could be. Health advice. Health advice segment.
Don't do cocaine with your mum.
Health advice with dry ears.
No, so I've got, well, it was my article as well, but it was something I found on the reputable blog wellandgood.com.
Mm-hmm.
When can kids drink coffee?
Wow. This is interesting for me.
Yeah. So what age do health experts say is safe to start drinking coffee? Apparently, the American Academy of Pediatrics has specified that children should avoid caffeine until they reach the age of 12.
12. That's
Yeah.
younger than I.
And from ages
Maybe
12 to 18, they should only have 100 milligrams of caffeine a day per max.
A double shot.
So is that a double shot?
Not quite.
One double shot in the morning.
Not quite.
My 12-year-old.
A
100 milligrams.
2015 study of 315 Boston mums found that 14% allowed their 2-year-old kids to drink between 1 and 4 ounces of coffee per day.
Wow.
So
What?
you've got a kid in that age range.
Wow. 1 and 4 ounces.
That's not very much though.
Did you let her have a little sip?
Maybe
I
filter
assume-
coffee too.
yeah, I assume they're talking filter. I've told you guys before that I've let you have a little sip of decaf only,
Yeah.
and it sent her into an absolute tailspin.
Center off the rails.
Well, apparently in Latin America, it's quite common for kids to have a hot coffee with milk starting at an early age. Culturally, quite common.
I guess it depends. Like a lot of people, I mean, kids and coffee is a bit, no, but kids drinking Coke and Red Bulls and all the rest.
Yeah,
it's
the age.
at whatever
When do you
age.
let kids drink cool drink or
Yeah.
Cotty's cordial?
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
not in this lifetime.
Why can't my dad pick the beans?
Pick the beans. So
I think it's you're just setting yourself up for. I mean, if it's part of culture and that's what people are doing. Anyway, I think
That-
you probably don't want to do that one for yourself and your kid.
But is it just that Australian kids are soft?
well, that's a whole
In
nother-
these
whole nother
countries
chat.
where children are given
you-
the fine opportunity to work from a young age, shouldn't they be able to start their day with a warm cup of joe?
So
Yeah.
I was just trying to work out if you were speaking metaphorically or literally there. I struggle sometimes.
Me too.
Soft Australian kids. Just poking them. Your fingers, like losing half of it.
So yeah, and there's lots more about it. It's a health blog. It's all kind of bullshit.
Are there any anecdotes?
He hasn't read it.
Just saying coffee can have a negative impact on sleep for kids.
Is there anyone for it in the article?
I mean, 12 years old. So 12 years old's
Pretty young.
pretty young.
I didn't like coffee at 12.
No, when did you start drinking it?
When I was staying up late trying to do homework in year 12, the second time
So you weren't,
round.
so you weren't using it under the manifesto rules back then?
I was reading a different manifesto by one mathematical prodigy, Theodore John Kaczynski.
I don't want to keep beeping these.
That was the. Oh, we haven't done. It's still my segment. We haven't done any news.
We can't
Now-
do best news. We're going to move on.
Okay, no, but it was just funny because I was listening to a podcast about the trials of Oscar Wilde, and he actually.
It's still my segment, he said.
It's still my segment.
Just goes.
So what he did, he was accused by the father of a guy he was in a relationship with of all the things that were illegal back then, and he was definitely doing them all. But he took the guy to court for slander,
Oh, yeah, okay.
and then Oscar Wilde ended up going to prison because there was overwhelming evidence.
yeah, it's the same.
And it just reminded me of West Australian patriot, friend of the podcast.
don't know if I can use this.
Yes.
I don't think I'll be using this.
Chris, what do you think about
Very hard on a video pod to edit out.
what do you
the
think
way.
about kids and caffeine? Are you thinking about perhaps introducing it?
Not real. I mean, no. But I would put caffeine, like Brendan said, in the same category as probably fizzy drinks. Anything with a lot of sugar or...
Well, a black coffee doesn't have sugar.
It can do.
It can do.
Yeah. No, but anything with caffeine then. I would probably wait until the kid is 25.
Yeah. Hey, that's fair. That's good advice. Good health advice. Actually, some good health advice from Chris, which doesn't happen
No.
Very often.
ever.
No.
Listener question.
But if the kid's picking the coffee beans, drink
He's
away,
gotta have
buddy.
smoke,
He's got bigger problems in life
gotta
than
have
a little bit of
smoke.
caffeine.
Yeah.
There's probably the bitterness of it is probably something that doesn't lend itself to
Yeah,
kids,
yeah,
kids'
exactly.
I remember
taste.
my first sip of coffee, I was like, yuck.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And it
I
was
the same.
Makona Gold, so obviously it's great. It's the good stuff.
top
So
shelf.
my palate wasn't developed.
That's it.
Shout out to Dong
Who?
Shoe Foods.
Into the camera.
Yeah, into the camera.
Love your sachets.
Aaron, you've got a listener question coming. I sent it to you. Came into me in the week. I just
Excellent.
sent it.
Okay.
Take it
Here we
away,
go.
Chris. I'll ask for your focus.
This is the intro for his segment.
Nice. He's doing. Imagine it's Aaron doing this in the cafe during his manifesto.
Just rocking out to the greatest song and album ever.
Taking up 6-person table.
Hi, Aaron. Love the pod, love your voice, and love your ideas. I think cropping is a joke too,
Controversial.
I'll say. Thanks for inspiring me to start my own running club by talking about it non-stop on the pod. I can't say how improved my days have been since the club started. Better fitness, improved confidence, and forming strong friendships.
Cool.
But things have gotten right out of hand and I need your advice. A few weeks ago,
always
one of the fellas, Ted of all people, I'm not sure if he's not sure if he's with us any longer. When was his question written? Ted insisted that we divert our run past his ex-wife's house. It's a nice loop. And we'd laugh as he gave the house the finger on the way past. Then came the sand bundies.
Bundies.
Just explaining to the guys that we just need to pause for a moment. Ted has a rocket for an arm and he started throwing huge sand bundi at his ex-wife's front door as we passed. One morning it burst on the cat's back.
Oh,
I thought, hey, it makes no difference to me. If Ted's all hyped up on a runner's high and chucks a sand bundi at his ex-wife's front door now and then, good on him. It's obviously helping him work through things, and the 4-kilometre detour isn't that far. Yeah, it's a nice loop. Then the tree stumping started. I haven't heard of that. Yep. I'd never heard of this, says person. But when you slam yourself into a bush or small tree at pace and level it to the ground, it's called stumping. Ted is built like a bag of pears and he started throwing himself full tilt into his ex-wife's patio limes. You slam yourself into a bush or small tree at pace. I thought, hey, he probably put those patio limes in himself and he's not really hurting anyone, perhaps except himself. Good on him, working through the things on his run.
yeah.
I even stumped a patio lime once just to hear Ted yelp with laughter. But then he started serving breakfast in quotations on his ex-wife's front lawn. Basically, he just brings 4 or 5 full rubbish bags from home
On the run.
hands them out so he can carry them up to his ex-wife's house where he scatters them on the lawn, shouts, breakfast is served, then absolutely piss bolts away. Oh, this, I think, has gone too far. Yeah, perhaps. The bags are so heavy and mainly just filled with T-bones and empty yogurt tubs. I wonder if he fills every empty yogurt tub with like 7 T-bones and then the yogurt tubs go into the bags.
It's like a
So you're
pencil
carrying
case.
like 27 kilos. Carrying these for the first 8 kilometres is getting too much. These days, it's just me and Ted in the club. And I'm worried we've become more of a vandalism club. Photos are absolutely all over the neighbourhood. And we've been on Crime Stoppers 4 times. We have to run at 2 a.m. to avoid the police patrolling us. What do I do? I've never felt better in my life. I've tried to talk to Ted, but it turns out he left his wife when she stopped running with him. Oh no! I could lose everything if this club stops, Aaron. Please help me. From Jane Kites, Wembley Downs. P.S. Ted is also my dad.
What a twist.
Oh, wow. What a twist. So
Oh, there's a lot there.
there's a lot there. There's one simple question. What do I do?
Well, can we unpack a little bit of that? So Ted's is the listener's dad,
Yep.
and he's obviously got an issue with his ex-wife.
That he left.
May or may not be the listener's mum. We don't know.
Yeah, most likely. Interesting.
And
she
he's just
didn't
been-
recognise the house. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been escalating
Mhm.
as the run club's moved on from
Yeah.
just a simple finger sand bundies, tree stumping, and then serving breakfast on the lawn.
Interesting metaphor, isn't it? That one.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. So, I mean, the key thing in here for me is that Jane is saying that I've never felt better in my life.
Well, of course, she gets to go running with her dad all the time. A lot of people don't get that kind of connection with their parents.
Yeah. She's complained a lot throughout the article about
The article.
carrying the question about carrying the rubbish bags.
Well, they're carrying
and-
2 to 3 each by my math.
I know. Originally,
For
there
8
was
kilometres.
perhaps 4 or 5 members, and
At 2
it's
a.m.
down. It's down to 2.
Yeah.
So they got some heavy rubbish bags. And she's obviously worried that Ted left his ex-wife when she stopped running with him.
Yeah, so she doesn't want to,
She
she doesn't
doesn't.
want her own house to be savaged
Yeah, she doesn't want to become a target.
by Ted.
Look, I mean, I have a run club, and the reason why I do it is because I thoroughly enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys that I'm running with also thoroughly enjoy it.
Does your ex-wife enjoy it?
You run past her place.
Yeah, there's some ideas in here. we occasionally will extend our loop and go somewhere else to.
Just for an
But
errand.
we don't. We don't throw sand bundies, and we're not currently
Not yet.
wanted by Crime Stoppers.
No.
I mean, my advice would be simple: if it makes you happy, Jane, and you can handle the scrutiny,
Yeah.
then
Handle the heat.
just keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Keep going, Jane.
You're going to get super fit,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Maybe that's one of the reasons I've never felt better. She's probably really,
The adrenaline and the
really raised her
Dopamine.
VO2 max
Yep.
quite dramatically.
Yep.
Healthy habit, perhaps some unhealthy things in there.
But maybe she could be an example for Ted and say, we did that loop yesterday. Today, let's leave the bags at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try to peg him back.
Yeah.
Let's get the ex-wife on the show and hear her side of the story.
She probably doesn't know who it is. Who's doing this?
Mrs. Kites, Ted Kites' wife.
Ted Kite. Ted Kite. There you go.
Interesting. I don't know about Ted's diet.
T-bones and yogurt.
T-bones and yogurt. Sounds like my 2-year-old's diet,
Excluding T-bones.
excluding T-bones.
Well, there you go. Boys, good app. Great
Yeah,
app.
run clubs are great. If I haven't spoken about it enough on the pod already,
You actually, I don't think you've mentioned it.
No, I haven't mentioned
Yeah,
it.
right.
But the guys I run with, great guys. We'll be in here tomorrow morning, not at 2 a.m. We'll be here at 6 a.m.
Well, at the warehouse.
at the warehouse.
Throwing sand buddies.
No sand bundies, Chris. We'll be doing a lap of Lake Herdsman.
Do a bit of stumping.
Little
if there's-
stomping
if
around the
there's
lake.
anyone in the area, in the greater Osborne Park area that
I
wants
can
to join,
promise you this one episode will not be out before the run tomorrow morning.
we do it every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Same time, same spot. Come to filament.llc location.
I want like 40 people to rock up
Yeah.
and just be such a nuisance about it.
With rubbish bags.
Or yeah, T-bone steaks and yogurt tubs. You could get Ted and Jane along.
Yeah. Yeah, Jane, actually come run with us. Bring Ted.
If you know what's going to happen if you pull Jane away from Ted, we're going to have to up our insurance.
We actually, Filament has a rubbish issue because we don't have bins on site. The council doesn't do commercial pickups around here. So maybe
How do you deal with it?
Filament
Let's take it home.
could partner
Not
with,
much.
with Ted and Jane. And
I don't think we should be partnering with Ted. He sounds unhinged.
we can give Ted our rubbish to carry.
But it's going to, like, when it bursts on her front lawn, there's going to be filament identifiers in there, and they're going to come back to us.
I don't throw any filament out.
No, but there'll be something. There could be something that just says the address.
Well, we can just improve how we throw things away. If it's got filament on it, it goes in the special filament bin.
Right.
And there's a Ted bin.
Just like that's where our T-bones go from now on. T-bones and tubs.
We'll call it the sin bin.
Sin bin. All right. Thanks for the manifesto. Chris, thanks for the shout-outs. Thanks for the workshop on the book.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Yeah, that was
Coffeenomics.
great.
Thanks for the health advice. Thanks for the listener question, Jane. Thanks for a great app, boys.
Yeah. Thanks for
Peace out. Do a look to camera.
See you soon.
Stop it. Whispered it. Whispered it. I'll just
You
beep
can,
it.
still, you can still hear it in the
I
microphone.
love how you call him a friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. Yes.
What is that? What's a friend of the pod?